All right. So, Andre, this week I'm so excited to grant a bunch of Christmas wishes. We're talking about web-based RDP.
Mhm.
All right. So last week we talked about how important it is for us to provide a really beautiful and enjoyable user experience, frictionless. And one of the ways we mainly do that is through our agentless approach. So last week we talked about how, we'd had a lot of people asking for us to support MongoDB. We built a beautiful web client. But another big thing on the list for a lot of people was RDP.
That's right. And yeah, we spend a lot of time solving all the core DevOps access problems like database access, SSH, Kubernetes, internal web services, etc. And as we're talking to more and more enterprises, obviously the issue of RDP comes up more and more, right? And so we're super excited today to announce, just in time for Christmas, that we've launched support for agentless access to RDP. And so just to be clear, you can access RDP using your regular client, but now also completely agentless, which basically means the ability to access your Windows RDP just in your browser and just using your single sign-on identity, right? And so there's still lots of systems that run Windows, internal apps, legacy systems, enterprise software. And
Mhm.
again, they all rely on RDP to manage those servers. And today they typically use VPNs and sometimes shared credentials. And these organizations want to solve that the same way. They just want super granular access to just that one thing, and ideally agentless, and ideally just using my single sign-on identity. So today we're solving that.
Oh, I'm so excited. This feels very border zero. I mean, we are making a deliberate push to cover more of these real world access use cases. We want access to feel convenient, easy, but stay secure. So here you go. You don't have to have a client. All you need is your browser. Let's get to the good stuff. Show people a demo.
Yeah, okay. Well, let me share my screen here. So what you see here is essentially all the resources that I as a user have access to. And one of these tiles here is an RDP server. So let me click on that. So you can see a new tab opens and you can immediately see the RDP desktop start to appear. And so if I've set it up that it automatically logs me in, which is super convenient so that I don't need to know the password. And you can see just a regular Windows desktop. I can now click maybe on this file explorer and browse around, and it just feels like normal Windows, but all in the browser. And yeah, what people have told us is like, hey, it just feels super smooth, super easy to use, and yeah, sort of magical. And so
Yeah.
I think the other thing was really cool to remember is this machine sits on the other side of the world, behind NAT in a private VPC, and I'm behind NAT in some random office somewhere, and yet I can just use my browser and my SSO to log in. Yeah, I think it's a magical experience, and that's also what we've heard from people. So really awesome.
Yeah, you timed it just right. Right in time for the holidays here. So, all right. RDP in the browser, folks. There you go. And just like we said last week, this is an absolute game changer for teams that are relying on consultants, contractors, just really anyone who needs to grant temporary access to users.
Yeah, you can just now give folks temporary access, very granular to just this one server, maybe for a particular time interval. You got the session log. You don't even have to share credentials anymore. So yeah, it's just a big gain for everyone involved.
Yeah. All right. So, are we done? Is this it?
No, no, no. We're still, knee deep in the world of RDP, and we're adding more and more what we call full proxy capabilities, and that will give us things like session recording for RDP, better automated credential injections, and more advanced controls for auditing and things like that. So yeah, we're going to continue to invest heavily in here so that it's going to be an amazing experience.
Awesome. All right. And is this available right now?
Yes, yes, you can play with it over the holidays. You can log in, create an RDP socket for yourself, and then click on that big blue button that says connect, and then your browser will pop up and you're in.
Awesome. Give it a spin, folks.